En este contexto, saludamos a Nicolas Forest, Global Head of Fixed Income in Candriam. Nicolas, thank you so much for having us a few minutes.
Hello.
Nicolas, inflation is undesirably high and is expected to remain above ECB's target for some time, according to Lagarde yesterday. Today, we've known the May CPI in US stronger than expected, a rise of 8.6% year over year. We will know next week the decision of the Federal Reserve, but the ECB is intended to rise rates by 25 basic points in July, expects to raise them again in September, which is the main challenge for the ECB and the eurozone economy.
Yeah, that's completely true. So clear. The first point that I wanted to say is the ECB is late, so they are going to start the normalization process. But still, inflation is too high, and this is the first step. But the ECB is behind the curve. And the second point, which is very important, is, the ECB will start the normalization process without any plan to avoid the fragmentation in Europe, meaning that, and that's exactly what we are observing today, with spread widening between Spanish bonds, Italian bonds, and German bonds. So the point is, of course, they have to start the normalization and they need to exit from the negative territory. But the main risk now is the fragmentation and the risk of a global slowdown in Europe.
Nicolas, Lagarde insisted the ECB knows how to design and deploy new instruments if necessary, but we don't know any details about these tools. Could it be a new focus of uncertainty for markets?
Yeah, definitely. We, as you said, we have no idea about the program, the details of the program. Is it flexible? What is the size? Is it legal? And so there are a lot of questions. And of course, we have uncertainty and it creates more volatility. And the point is, as you know, the market will test the ECB, will test the ability of Christine Lagarde to really avoid the European fragmentation. So we know that the ECB staff, is working on a new plan, but it seems that there is no consensus and the ECB is not ready yet. So from now to the July meeting and September meeting, we are expecting a lot of volatility and more spread widening, for the Spanish bonds, for Italian bonds, and that's, of course, a problem for the European assets. And that's the reason why we are observing also a depreciation of the euro vis-à-vis the US dollar, because at the end, investors prefer to sell European assets and European bonds because we are waiting for a better view and more credibility about this plan to really protect the euro area and really to avoid this potential fragmentation in the government bond market.
And what does ECB rate hike mean for fixed income?
Well, it means higher rates. So higher rates, but more important is higher rates for the short term of the curve. So what we are observing is a flattening of the yield curve. So it means that we see higher rates for the 2 years maturity, and it's not really the case for the 30 years. So this morning, there was an interview of Mr. Villeroy de Gallo, and he said that the ECB target rate should go between 1 and 2%. 1 and 2% in the coming months. That's a huge move. So in this case, and that's what the market now is anticipating, we will see higher rates, so meaning bonds depreciation, volatility, and what we observe is a correlation. Because when we have higher rates, we have also, unfortunately, lower equity markets. So what does it mean for the fixed income investors? It means potential losses, and it means volatility. But at the same time, and that's very important, we will see a very attractive entry point for the investor. I mean, if you see bonds and a yield close to 4% for specific government bonds, it will really offer you an opportunity to buy bonds. So it's too early. We are expecting volatility, higher rates, but I have strongly believe that investors will come back and will buy again fixed income, and because fixed income investment are becoming again a very interesting asset class. Unfortunately, it's too early, and we need clarification from the ECB and stabilization of inflation before investing in fixed income assets.
Well, Nicolas Forest, Global Head of Fixed Income in Candriam, thank you so much for this analysis.
Thank you.
Y nosotros, teniendo en cuenta todo este análisis, enseguida vamos con el último del programa, con Pablo Gil, jefe de estrategia de XTB. Antes repasamos la noticia ESG del día de la mano de Nordea.
Nordea Asset Management le ofrece la noticia ESG del día.
Los fondos de capital privado, los fondos de impacto, crecen un 33% en España. Alcanzan los 400